First of all, in order to become a world-renowned author, the English used, of course, has to be high school levels of writing. Because I was a high schooler, I was 15, 16, maybe 17, 18 years old when I wrote this horrible piece of, it's probably a horrible piece of garbage, but I'm going to find out in this read through because I haven't really read this for 2 years now since I've gone to college. I'm a college girl, yeah. Anyways, without further ado, here is the read through of really just the beginning of HADAVO. The story is called HADAVO, which is a shorthand for hate, death, avoided. Whatever. I'm just gonna begin. So, it begins with, of course, the first chapter. HADAVO 1. Chapter 1. 1.1. Vicky. 1.2. I do not know. I wrote this in some notes app on my phone 5 years ago when I should have been paying attention to the studies, to class, you know. Anyways, here's the text. You must have seen a light when I was born, right? Kai asked. No, I didn't, Soroika replied. I had other problems, like not to go out. Your haul doesn't fit to your personality, I think. I mean, it really acts like it has forgotten everything cruel, the younger, golden-haired girl said. You're so young, you don't know how much tiring it is to be a representer for such a long time. Sororika and Kai dialogued with each other, documented by Kai in a book. Away underneath representer, Vicky just read these sentences in parts of the Universal Information and Documentation Library. I will use for every other time the shorthand symbol UIAD library. I actually wrote that. I didn't say it, I wrote that. Okay, going on. She should have been there with Lucifer to recover some souls in hell, but ran away from her male equivalent. Now she is sitting on the floor, dizzying. Not dizzying, dizzying. That was too much for her, recovering these pieces of souls with so many awful memories inside. They were sent to hell, not to nirvana, unfortunately. Vicky almost fell asleep from all the stress, but suddenly had a strong feeling to write something into her block. So she put it out of her bag that she has sometimes on. I start auto-correcting this. Notice to 16th birthday. Why they can't just put the trash of human souls to nirvana? Why do I have to do this? My fingers hurt from just writing. I wish they can understand me once. I wish I could talk to them, but I can't. Careless Kai. If she had to split Lucifer's and my soul, she should have been a bit carefullier. Like when she split our body. With these thoughts written, she continued reading a book, dizzying again, until she was asleep in a big bookshelf with the bag as a pillow and the book holding loosely. Kai went to the library to read some talks she had. She seriously doesn't have many things for free time. She could just talk or give orders to her subordinates. Visit a civilized planet as one of the life forms there, or, like she does right now, go to the UIAD library. She wants to amuse herself right now with the documentation of Tyrone or something nagging for the first time about how dumb Earth's dominators are, but found Vicky peacefully sleeping in one of the big bookshelves. Kai was surprised. She never thought that someone would be interested in her talks. Excitade! Vicky woke up, rubbing her eyes, then looking at Kai as if she were a ghost, like always. Kitagis? She asked. ... More dots. She doesn't answer from her mouth, but turned quickly to pages to write down her answer. The books could be stained with some liquid. Sorry, I have interest in oral communicate. I said, how are you? Fine now, she writes. Then return to your home. There's no audition today. Before Vicky could even close her college block, she suddenly felt an urgent need to sleep the more she stares Kai in the eye. And Leah woke up. Again, in the library. These daydreams are so annoying, she thought on her way home. Of course, she would get that much trouble by her mother, that she won't be able to sleep again. Why do I even imagine myself as a kid in a freaking dirndl? She murmured on her way to school next morning. But on the other side, maybe she can't tell her friends the dreams. No, they probably won't have explanations. Or her mother? No, she wouldn't care either. Maybe she'd even bother her in her homework. Her siblings, uncles, and father neither. Her classmates neither. And not her depressed best friend. This would just bother or annoy them. This is why she seems a little depressed sometimes. She doesn't have really a person. I need to read it right by not autocorrecting. She doesn't have really a person she can trust enough in to really think it cares. Maybe it could change soon, she thought. And the thought in being in another school then she came in mind. Whatever, said school friend annoys her with her cult movies, and when she talks about her problems, she makes enough effort to shut Leah down or just laughed at them. If she wanted to talk with her mother, she was always focusing on something else, even if it's just another one of the countless arguments she had with people. Sorry, read thoughts are a little bit straining on me, and I need to swallow a lot. Talking that much, it's not even much as 8 minutes. Anyways. If she wanted to talk about the problems with her best friend, she always tries to dim the problems of the depressed one, and if not, she talks nonsense. A half year later, Leah was reading a book in her bed, so that she can sleep better. She finished the 10th class, but has bigger plans. The sentence feels so wrong. She finished the 10th class, but has still bigger plans. Some bigger plans. This is why she will continue being in school. And the chapter just ends. HADAVO 2, Chapter 1.2. Ray. A slim, tall boy with longer hair walks around the Britzer Damm with a delivery trolley in a rainy afternoon. If I can get any money, I just have to work to get it. With these words, he tries to cheer up himself. His third day after he came from hospital, he was more than pissed off. Pissed off his mother. Pissed off his sister. Pissed off to live as a poor. Not poor enough to not pay the taxes or pay to themselves, but still, they have to save every cent they worked. The funny thing is, they quite did have an enormous amount of money, but got because of divorce and the lack of inquiry and things as such they. That was a mouthful for me. What would I request of my past self? For her to have the dignity to write better English. Please. When he was done with his delivery job, he went home to the small apartment. It has a small bath, small kitchen, living room and bedroom. Even though they already moved to Neukölln a few years ago, the flat's bill is still increasing high. €800 for a flat with 2 rooms. Sorry. When he opened the door, he heard a guitar solo in the living room. This must be his father. Hi, Dad. Hi! Had a good shower? When the boy was glaring at the floor before, he glares now at his father. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Hey, stop looking like it's a mom again. Want a beer? Would be a complete waste if I don't want to drink any of it. The boy grumbled. Nah, okay, no beer for you. What I really want to ask you is if your face is still smarting a little. Yeah, a normal question. The boy was thinking. He unusual in his drunken state. Yes, it smarts a little, but I still can't go to school. He responded. You sure have to do homework, no? If so, please put the beer boxes. God damn. I'm on page 3. I'm on page 3 and I want to die. Not necessarily because everything I wrote was cringe, but how I wrote it was... It was a 16-year-old whose English definitely was that of a 16-year-old where English is her second language, not her first. Okay. Anyways. If so, please put the beer boxes in a trolley and bring them to the supermarket, his father said, with a face trying to press as much empathy as possible out of him, while preparing for the next song to play with his e-guitar. It has to be an e-guitar. I kind of want to rewrite this whole scene because I wanted to establish with that his dad is a die-hard metalhead. But no, of course, I never mentioned metal. I never mentioned a song. I never mentioned the insidious riffing. I never mentioned any of this. God damn it. This brings the boy's temperament to the very edge. Fucking bring them out yourself! The boy shouted, running from the house. Ray Foxes, come here immediately or fuck this name! The boy shouted down the stairs, his father following him, calling him to come back. He ran off like he did a few times before to a torn-off house near Tube Station Lipschitz Allee, where nature is taking advantage of the free property. An ununderstandable grin was moved by his lips, or rather, he ran the first kilometer, then walked because of the long way, always having a smile on his face, which means he is happy now. Somehow, even after the divorce, even after Mom came once back to punish him in the thought it would be his father. Even after the time in hospital, which felt like a torture chamber in which he is just bleeding out. And after this argument. But the argument showed he is still alive. He can enjoy his shameless, sarcastic father, his annoying sister, his friends, his teachers, the strict and the weak ones. And even if he is still pissed off of some one of these, he sees it in this moment as a pleasure. The pleasure to make thoughts and feelings about others and release them. It feels so relieving. Luckily, the sky opened up while he ran off the flat, so just his trousers would get soaked, but he doesn't care anyway. He puts a college block and pencil out of his school bag and noticed what happened in his life for his very first time, but goes asleep in a sudden when he wanted to write the last sentence. Troy, can't you still wait till it's 10 p.m.? His last thought is before he found himself at a strange cafe. It has lots of mannequins and their screens sending inhuman sounds, while men are playing various kinds of sports. His clothes changed too. A Slipknot pullover, jogging trousers, and down Euro chucks. And 1 Euro chucks became a button shirt, a jeans, and pretty wandering shoes. Everything as raven black as his now shortened hair. But not only his clothes changed. When he looked like a tall boy, which would only eat an apple per day, in the world he was before, in this strange cafe he looks like a grown, even attractive man. Yep, he definitely wants me to be here. Why now? He thought while watching one of the screens where men playing for nations are playing soccer, his eyes dazed, even though this was one of the dreams he couldn't control. Probably unurgent notes I found were urgent. Oh yeah, there was an asterisk where I said Neukölln and the bills soaring up. In Neukölln, the flat bill wasn't high comparing to the other districts of Berlin till 2 years ago. That's not true. The script was written in 2018. So what I meant was 2016. That isn't true. The bills in Neukölln hasn't the bills for rent have risen has have skyrocketed since the late 2000s. Not not since 2016. That is poorly researched of the district that you lived in. Moron. Past me is a moron. Okay. In Neukölln, the flat bill wasn't high comparing to the other districts of Berlin till 2 years ago, but is changing at the moment this chapter comes out. At the time, I do not think it was pretentious, but I feel it's pretentious.